Pyongyang now finds itself in a situation not unlike Israel, which practices nuclear ambiguity. Some scientists say North Korea's missiles aren't all that capable, and that its engineers probably haven't built nuclear warheads capable of being placed atop them. But does any sane person want to test whether they're bluffing? Meanwhile, the United States flew B-1B Lancer bombers escorted by fighter jets in international waters near the North Korean coast Saturday. The Pentagon said this show of force was the farthest U.S. fighters or bombers have flown in the 21st century north of the demilitarized zone separating North and South Korea for the past 64 years. This mission is a demonstration of U.S. resolve and a clear message that the president has many military options to defeat any threat, said Pentagon spokeswoman Dana White, calling North Korea's weapons program a grave threat. "We are prepared to use the full range of military capabilities to defend the U.S. homeland and our allies," White said. "Everybody, presumably including Supreme Leader Kim, knows that launching nuclear missiles at U.S. territory or U.S. allies is suicidal. No nation has dropped a nuke in anger since the U.S. obliterated Nagasaki 72 years ago. And over the past 60 years, the reason for that has been obvious. The subsequent slaughter would be immense, even if it somehow remained confined to a couple of nations. All this name-calling and threat-making may be bluster and bluff and chest-thumping performances. It may just be Kim and his lieutenants telling Washington it won't allow itself to be treated as Iraq and Libya were, and chicken-hick Trump pretending he's Clint Eastwood brandishing nukes instead of a .44 Magnum. But history shows how overblown rhetoric, military brinksmanship, and seemingly small incidents can lead to devastating consequences. It must be accepted now that North Korea has nuclear weapons, and may soon have the ability to attach them to missiles capable of striking the U.S., just as the U.S. has the ability to explode a nuke anywhere on the planet. There is no military resolution of this situation that wouldn't amount to a monstrous atrocity with massive political, economic, and radioactive fallout as the result. Thus, while diplomacy engaged in with enemies is always a difficult task, and in this situation more difficult than usual, it's the only means of reducing the still rising tensions between North Korea and the United States. The 5 permanent members of the Security Council in Germany have proved with the Iran agreement that they can negotiate reasonable nuclear agreements with benefits for everyone concerned. But can Trump be convinced to engage, and is there anyone on his team capable of handling such negotiations for Washington? Certainly it's not Secretary of State Rex Tillerson. On the other hand, given Trump's belligerent and ignorant speech at the United Nations, his eagerness to wreck the Iran and Paris agreements, and his bizarre behavior in general, can those other nations be persuaded to participate? Assuming, of course, that Kim can be persuaded. The stakes are high, and publicly at least, there seems to be a scarcity of willingness to get serious about that.